I'm Jim Kellner, a retired Presbyterian minister, and I'd like to tell you about immigration and my experience with that in Mexico, and it ties in the whole thing about war. I spent 4 years with my wife in Cuernavaca doing some development work, and also at a retreat center that brought North American church people down to have an encounter with the poor and the realities. When we were there in 1982, NAFTA was being talked about and then was passed. And I can remember very distinctly that the Constitution of Mexico was changed by vote, but an awful lot of publicity to take away what was called ejido. After the revolution in Mexico in 2012, land was turned over to the farmers, and they could not sell it, but it was held in ejido. It was sort of like a cooperative, and they could turn it over to their heirs, but they could not sell it. Well, it comes along NAFTA, and I don't know how it all happened, but people from Canada and Mexico, of course, being leaned on by the others and the presidents and this country, and ejido was voted out of the Constitution. It's like voting out the Second Amendment or something like that. The Constitution of Mexico, which meant that farmers would sell. But why do they sell? Because there were also cheap corn that was being imported into Mexico, and farmers and their ancestors who had been growing corn, maize, for a couple of thousand years no longer could make a living, and so they sold their land. So 2,000 farmers lost their land, and then what else could they do? They had to come up here and first of all to the cities and then go. So I always feel it's important to understand the causes of immigrants. Not that they want to come, but they can no longer make a living. Of course, also that the whole violent thing that the countries of El Salvador and Honduras and also have been influenced by the military involvement of the United States Empire, and so this is what happens. And just it's important to know, well, why do they come here? Well, they came here because of our policies that were voted and affected them, and so then that's what happened. I also feel that's important to understand the causes, and I can go on too about other things about immigration, but this is something that I experienced working there for a number of years and seeing the effects.